In what way does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So before I start to think of what I want my movie to look like, I went online, did some research about horror film conventions, and I watched some opening scenes to see how horror films have developed throughout the years, throughout the stages, and then I then decided what I want it to look like. But before that, I watched horror movie, and I watched this one called Orphan. I like the way the director made the opening scene kind of, it's kind of like boom in your face, but then it then started calmly, and then the text was, I love the text, the use of text, because it was like a run down kind of thing, gothic kind of effect. So which made it look like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a scary film, but it was psychological scary. So it was kind of a good way of doing this. Also, I also think of the way I want it to look like. I didn't want to just open and say, oh yeah, just do this. So I wanted it to look like, yeah, I want to just set the scene first, because I didn't really want it to be too bam in your face. So I set the scene, which is a scary atmosphere because it was just a dark place, and the characters are all out in the street, which could mean something could go wrong. So I thought of that, and also thinking of the characters I used. It's not really conventional when you think about it. If you watch certain horror movies, the characters I used and the characters that's in there, you wouldn't really expect to see this kind of characters in horror films. But I use it to kind of break that kind of um, barrier between one using horror film conventions. And also I also thought about the representation. I thought about kind of where I want my film to be represented to my target audience. I thought about the age, whether my character is going to be disabled or not, like ethnicity and all of that. So which was kind of good, because I then used all of that in my film except the disability part, because there was none of my characters were disabled in my film. So I used that, and I thought that was a really effective way of trying to represent my film, so it can go out to different people, different target audience, not just one target audience. So yeah.